Hello there, beautiful people in the future. As you watch this in the year 3030, you might be wondering what was it that caused the demise of the once great civilization that you people read about in your history classes. No, it was not the inferior graphics of our video games. Well, to be honest, we don't know either. But maybe with your superior technology and evolved epistemology, you might be able to figure out what went wrong and avoid your civilization from taking the same turn. Now, in the time that we live, our literature took a sharp left turn. It became increasingly obsessed with genitalia and obsessed with people who are confused and obsessed with their genitalia.
The future is not female. The future is intersectional. The future is black. The future is trans. The future is non-binary. The future is lesbian women. The future is disabled women. The future is Muslim women. The future are sex workers. We are the future. Support women who you don't know. Support women who you aren't sexually attracted to. Support women who you aren't related to. Support women who don't meet or match your expectations or ideals of what a woman is or what a woman should be. I am a woman, and I have a penis.
Our times also saw the emergence of a subspecies of Homo sapiens called feminists activists. Now, people in the future may have limited understanding and interactions with these creatures. Perhaps they have been bred out of existence, or maybe they've been eaten by their 19 cats. So let me offer you some observations about these beings that we have been privy to. These creatures make their living from what they call activism, which to beings of elevated intelligence appears to be whining, or as cool kids used to say, bitching, a term soon to be declared illegal in our time. Let me give you an example. Women fights patriarchy by letting entire music festival take bong hits out of her butthole. The title is neither a euphemism nor an exaggeration. The artist, in their Instagram, a social media platform that we once used, says #buttbong. Last year, my favorite festival, at Rachel Ark and I schemed up an art project for which I lay in a coffin for 2.5 hours while mealworms ate at my skin. This year, people kept asking me how I was going to one-up it. I wasn't going to try. Well, within 2 hours of arriving last weekend, at Jeff Wise ran into me and Rachel and asked, "Hey Snatch," that's her name, "how do you feel about people smoking weed out of your butthole?" Rachel and I looked at each other and smiled. "I feel great about that. Tell us more." Wise and his brother made up 2 prototypes hand-blown glass butt bongs with a reservoir of water that goes inside the body. Now, no one had ever tested them out before, and he thought I was the perfect person to ask. I gotta say, he was right. The idea quickly developed into a spectacle. At 2 a.m. I got into a small platform next to the main stage, naked. At Cryptation, who helped me bring all his shibari gear with him, made a very sexy show of tying me up and suspending me, ass up, head down, legs spread. The crowd would have been happy with that as a performance, but once I was up, Alexis came up and put the plug in, and the crowd didn't know what was happening until he filled it with weed and took a hit. A cheer erupted as we invited everyone at the festival to smoke weed out of my butt. The second pic is of Rachel showing us how it's done, and yes, we do have the second pic to document on that Instagram platform we spoke about, but I'm not going to do it. Now, for people in the future who might be characterizing the time we live in as a period of great economic prosperity and peace relative to earlier periods in history, but this is how people in my time believed about our time compared to moments of our history.
Diagnose.
Right, without saying I'm diagnosing because you've never met the man.
Exactly.
You can describe what you're seeing. So, Dr. Francis, I know you disagree with this view that Dr. Lee and a couple other dozen psychiatrists have published in this book. You say it's dangerous to be talking this way. Why?
Well, I think that medicalizing politics has 3 very dire consequences. The first is that it stigmatizes the mentally ill. I've known thousands of patients, almost all of them have been well-behaved, well-mannered, good people. Trump is none of these. Lumping the mentally ill with Trump is a terrible insult to the mentally ill, and they have enough problems and stigma as it is. The second issue is that calling Trump crazy hides the fact that we're crazy for having elected him, and even crazier for allowing his crazy policies to persist. Trump is as destructive a person in this century as Hitler, Stalin, and Mao were in the last century. He may be responsible for many more million deaths than they were.
I do want to emphasize for the folks living in the future, the talking egg and the confused Asian lady are not satirists or comedians, at least not on purpose. This is cable news, considered by lesser beings of our time as legitimate authoritative news, and this is what half of our once great civilization consider to be objective. Now, if you in the future exactly figure out what went wrong, all I can hope is that you will not your civilization come to this. In the meantime, like and subscribe to this channel for further documentation of demise of the West.